If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, hit thumbs up, and if you're a terrible person, hit thumbs down, because that's what you do. And, enjoy. Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another microphone review video. So this year, I wanted to search and find decent $50 microphones. I'm not gonna hold my breath on great or career-making microphones, but the goal is to find microphones that are under like 50 or below and that are decent and could possibly be microphones to get into voiceover. I have reviewed ones that were below $100, but a lot of those I didn't like either the way they sounded, their noise, their features, or something. I always had some kind of issue. So I'm on the hunt to find some decent $50 or less microphones. And so the first one that we have here is the CAD U37, which is a microphone that I've seen talked about and I've seen it on lists constantly, but I've never gotten my hands on it. Now, let me just say this out of the gate. The microphone that I have right here is used, and I got it for $20. However, you can find it for $50 or less. I think like $46. I'm not positive. Link to it will be in the description. So, there are a few things about this microphone that I'm not positive if they are because the one that I have is used or if it's because of the microphone itself. However, the person that I got it from said that they never really used it, that, it just sat there. There was no dust or any staining where it had gotten like any kind of liquid or food or anything on it. So it wasn't like just sitting on someone's desk where they were eating and stuff like that. There are some scratches, and I did have to reposition the front grille. But other than that, from what I could tell, also based on other people's reviews on this microphone and audio samples and stuff like that, I believe that this one is operating correctly, except for one thing, and that is the fact that this is a little too loud. This microphone is a little too loud, and by little I mean a lot, very loud. And so the situation that I'm working with right now is I have it with the negative 10 decibel pad on, as well as all the settings on my computer, whether it's in, because I'm also recording the audio into Audacity. So I have Audacity, the microphone levels set to 0, and I have the settings on my computer, Windows settings for the microphone input, also set to 0. And the audio is still getting really close to the ceiling. Because the reason I have Audacity going and recording is so I can see the waveform, because I can't monitor, which is my biggest complaint about this microphone, and I'll get to that in a second. But I'm having to view it, so I'm having to see what's going on. I can't hear it. I don't know if I'm popping the mic. I will be putting one of these on in a second, but I basically just have to look at the waveform to see what's going on. And it's very loud. It's very, very loud. If I turn off the 10 decibel pad, you'll hear a notable difference. So, all right, give me a second. So that is with the 10 decibel pad turned off. And it's almost the same. I'm saying the same. It's almost the same waveforms. Let me get my hand off this. All right, so I'm having to kind of be a little quiet because already it's getting pretty loud. About as loud as it was before when I was talking normal volume. This is a loud microphone. And again, I don't know if this is me and the setup that I have, or the microphone, or my computer, or what. Yes, the drivers for this thing are updated on my computer, even though the drivers for this aren't. I mean, they're not that up to date. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off, or rather, turn the 10 decibel pad down. So I don't know what the problem is. So I have to have that on just to get reasonable levels. Now I'm gonna put this on just so. There we go. So now I'm going to put the foam on just so the entire video isn't just full of plosives, because I imagine it would have been. But anyway, I do not have the low roll-off, low cutoff filter on, but there is that on the front. There's 2 switches, the 10 decibel, negative 10 decibel pad, and the low roll-off or low cutoff. There is no switch for on or off. You just plug this in, and it's on. There is one other thing that's on this microphone that's driving me crazy, and that is the blue light that is on this thing. Let's see. You can see it flashing probably. Maybe. But that thing is constant. And it's not based on what I'm saying, so it's not flashing as input is coming into the microphone. It's just flashing constantly for no reason. So if I was actually I would literally put tape over that. That's driving me crazy. It's not necessary. I mean, if you wanted to indicate that the microphone is on, just have the light go on. It doesn't need to be constantly flashing and blinking. It's annoying. It's a distraction. The thing that I don't like about this the most is the fact that there is no live monitoring. I'm a huge fan of live monitoring, especially if you're going to be your own engineer and your own editor and you're working, from home and all this kind of stuff. Because my philosophy is most of your editing needs to be done before you hit record and before you hit stop. So all of your editing. So before you hit record, you need to make sure that the microphone is the right distance, that it's on, that you don't, that you've gotten some water in you, so you don't got all that mouth noise, that everything else is quiet around you, and so you're ready to do it, and that you've read the script over again, so you won't be making that many mistakes. Whoop, almost unplugged that. Hope everything's fine. Yeah, it looks like it's fine. And then when you hit record, the editing that you'll be doing in there is listening to make sure that you're not making any plosives, or you're not, there's no noise in your mouth or outside that you can't, hear with your normal ears, that you can only hear while monitoring yourself, because the microphone is way more sensitive than we are. And then, if you do make a mistake, you can re-record it in that moment rather than turning it off, heading out of here, or, getting in here and getting halfway through the thing that you recorded, getting to that mistake and go, I need to go back in, put it back on the thing and record it. Because it's easier to re-record with the same inflection and style and read in that moment rather than later. So it's better to fix those mistakes and re-record those mistakes then rather than later. So it's one of the reasons that I'm a huge proponent of live monitoring. I know there's a lot of people that have come to me saying that there's a lot of people telling me that I should stop telling people to monitor themselves. But a lot of those people I've noticed are people that don't do their own editing, or don't do any editing, that if they will do audiobooks and they will just send a completely uncut, unedited file to someone else who will fix it for them. Or they do radio. And they do radio spots or stuff like that. Well, that's not what I do. I do character work. And all the clients that I work need me to send them a much more polished file. Also, I do all my editing. I do all the editing, and I like for it to take as little amount of time as possible, and so I wear headphones. And a lot of the people that ask me, should I wear headphones, are for the same reasons that I wear headphones. So that's why. Anyway, long ramble over. Now, if you guys have been paying attention, I've been switching back and forth between edited and non-edited. Because now this microphone has a very high noise floor. It's incredibly high, which is one of the reasons that you shouldn't be looking for a microphone that's $50 or less, because you're going to get lower quality capsule, lower quality internal workings, all that kind of stuff. That's how they make microphones cheaper, is by using cheaper products on the inside. And one of the problems with that is you're going to have a less sensitive capsule, or you're going to have, a capsule that's just not designed to be flattering on the voice. It's going to sound very flat, or it's going to be too hyped in the higher frequencies, that kind of stuff. Or you're going to get a lot of noise generated by the microphone. That's why I try to stay away from $50 or less. However, what I have been doing is trying to switch back and forth between what I'm recording here and audio that I have cleaned up, EQ'd, and compressed to basically show, if I was using this microphone, how it would sound. Now, again, that's just me, and that's me using my studio, my setups, my tools, my plugins, all that kind of stuff. That's me. You, it might sound different. But that's just to show what this could sound like. And hopefully I did a good job. But it has a high noise floor, no live monitoring, it's a little too hot, and it's the sound that comes out of this thing is not very flattering. It is a USB sound, and the USB sound is, it's slightly metallic. And really the what makes it metallic is not necessarily the capsule itself, but it's the way the internal workings translate analog to digital, and then it goes to the computer. Again, when it's a cheaper microphone, use cheaper products, and that can mean that the translation isn't going to be so good. So you're going to have a kind of a metallic sound, and that's what I've been hearing with this microphone. I've had it for a couple days, and that's what I've been hearing. So it's too hot. It's kind of not flattering on the voice. It's high noise floor and no live monitoring. However, do I think that this microphone is, for $50, good enough to get into voiceover? Yes, I do. I do think that, again, you have to do all this cleanup and compression and all that kind of stuff to make it sound good. But again, I do think that this could be a good starting mic. Now, who would this be intended for? This would be intended for people who don't know what to expect when it comes to voiceover. They don't know what they're getting into, but they've heard about it and they want to try it. But they don't want to put a lot of money down. They don't want to put, all that much. And they want basically just one thing they can plug into the computer and record into. This would be decent for that kind of person. Not for someone who's trying to take it seriously. Not for someone who really wants to make money and build a career. This would be no one's forever mic. However, if this is someone who's trying to get into it and wants a microphone that they can, just record, that's it. Yeah, this is totally fine. Again, you're going to have to do a lot of work. You're going to have to do all your editing. So really what comes with this is a lot of responsibility on you to do your research and get better at editing. That's what comes with this. So if you're someone who bought this microphone, it's not a waste. It's not a waste of money. It's not a waste of time. You can use this. You can get into voiceover this way. However, you will have to replace this microphone. Keep that in mind. And you will have to upgrade. Definitely. Also, however, that you will need better treatment to make this reasonable. Because if you were recording this in, your living room using the stand that it comes with, I don't know why I hadn't talked about this yet, but the stand that it comes with in the package deal, and you just have this on your desk, and there's no treatment in the room, it doesn't matter if it's a $50 microphone. It doesn't matter if it's a $200 microphone or a $1,000 microphone. It's going to sound like garbage. You can't have a microphone on a stand, on a desk, with an untreated room, and try to do actual professional voiceover. I've listened to so many demos of that's the setup. That's the setup that they went with. That's what they thought they needed. And the sad truth is it's never going to work that way. You can't use it. If you use it in a treated space like this, and you're really good at editing, now again, I'm not saying you can fix everything in editing, but you can get a good enough result out of this doing editing in a treated space. Yes, you can use this. You can absolutely use this and then upgrade. Speaking of this thing, see, I don't like this stand. Ugh, it's so cumbersome and hard to use, hard to open up. I don't even know if I have to untwist that to open it up. That's how little I know about it. I mean, it's decent, it's fine, but it's so weird. It's such a weird stand. Like, I would never use this for a mic stand, but I would use this as a if I modified it into like a prop for like a laser gun for like I don't know, like Flash Gordon or something like that. That's perfect for that. That kind of like Star Trek look, like those weird whatever. Okay, whatever. All right, back to the mic. Yes, $50. This would be totally fine, but hold off on your $50 because I will be reviewing other $50 or less microphones and maybe do a shootout. It's going to be really tricky because some of them are going to be XLR and some of them are going to be USB, but I'll figure out a way of making it happen. I'll figure out a way. So, anyway, yeah, that's basically it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new, bell for notifications, and leave down in the comment section below if you'd like to see me review or talk about any other microphones or any other things. Whatever. Totally fine. And until next time, peace.